believe not
funny.
one person has sent me a nude.
Too bad.
Too
You
bad.
guys do not send us nudes.
Do not send us nudes. Hey, what's up? Welcome to Heal, Laugh, and Rise Up. I'm Jessie, your badass two-time cancer fighter, soul work mentor, and your favorite Latina.
Hi, and I'm Amber, a chemo nurse by day, caretaker to my husband by night, all while being a scrunchy mom.
We're here to talk all about our traumas and how we use them to grow, honey.
So grab your drink and let's get into today's miracle and shit show.
How you feeling today?
Good.
You are?
No.
You don't?
No, I don't. I don't feel good.
I feel like shit, but I look good. You got a nice little rosy glow there, girl.
Do I? It's this beautiful sunshine that's finally
Oh,
out.
hallelujah.
No, I feel terrible. Mike is on the verge to going back to the hospital.
Yeah.
Thank God he's out of the hospital again, but it's touch and go. It's hard.
It's always touch and go, and you know what? The feedback that we've been receiving from all these amazing listeners is something that it just doesn't it give you like a little bit of like,
It's very supportive.
yeah, do you
Yes.
feel good when you read
Yes.
these feedback? Thank you guys for the feedback. I know some of you have reached personally after our last episode, our little cancer episode. It's really interesting and it feels really good for me and you as a nurse, right?
Yes,
Like you as a nurse, to know that there's people out there sharing this podcast with people that have been newly diagnosed and trying to navigate this new journey. And as I sat there and listened to the episode, reflecting on the one question that you asked me, what was my relationship with cancer before I was diagnosed? And I went down the line with some of the important people in my life. And then as I was reflecting, I thought, wow, there was one other important person that was before my father passed away and right before my grandfather passed away. My neighbor passed away of cancer, and I believe he was 14, perhaps. I believe he was a football player, so I think he got injured on the field, and then something happened with his knee, and they were doing studies, and then they found out it was cancer, and he had to get his leg amputated at the age of 14. And that was the neighborhood kid. Like, I grew up with all these kids, grew up with these children, these boys that became like our family. And that was the first time I experienced somebody who I grew up with not only pass away of cancer, but knowing that he was across the street, like, and his life was ending. I guess I forgot about that story because it was really traumatic.
But reflecting through all this.
Yeah, reflecting back. So I think this podcast for the both of us has been, like we said, we're doing it for our healing journey, part of our healing journey. And as we sit and reflect and listen to these episodes, you kind of think like, oh, I forgot about this.
Yeah, like, this is not a scripted podcast.
No.
So when you ask me a question, I'm on the spot.
Yes, me too. When you ask me, I'm like, oh shit,
Yeah.
I don't know what to say.
But it's I really like it because then, we'll publish this 20-minute, 30-minute, they're turning into 30-minute. Sorry, guys. This happens, and then after that, I'm reflecting what else I could have answered with, because now it's making me think. And I'm enjoying it because I'm being very intentional with my thought.
Right.
After,
Yes.
And it kind of helps me almost reflect on the things, do I want to change the way my first reaction was? Like the whole new parenting thing.
Yeah.
Am I doing something wrong? Do I want to change? It's okay. I can change. I can change my mind.
Yes, you can change your mind right now.
Better. Yes.
You can change your mind right now and say, you know what, I want to do this instead of that, and not worry that people are like, well, I thought you were doing this, or you were this certain way. Because
these conversations are being almost icebreakers to those topics for me.
Right.
And in talking about, thank you guys for the feedback, is what I'm finding is people are using this podcast as icebreakers for conversations with their family and their friends, which is really awesome.
Yeah, super awesome.
So feel free to keep sharing, especially if we touch on something that, hey, has been bugging you and you want to bring it up to your siblings or your friend because they did something. Hey, can you listen to this? What are your thoughts? It made me think of X, Y, and Z.
Right.
I'm hearing that happen a lot.
Yeah.
It happened for both of us in our family.
Right.
Our siblings listened to it, and we got to talk about it with people or our friends or whatnot. So super cool.
Yeah. Thanks for the feedback. We love it. Any feedback is good feedback. And actually, I know you said that we wanted to keep the episodes short. I actually had some people saying they need to be longer.
I'm hearing that too.
You too? You're hearing that too?
Two of them then.
So
start binging.
But yeah, it's
so this kid.
Yeah, and you know, in our neighborhood where we grew up was a low income neighborhood. Was it low income or what's below low income?
That's it. You're poor.
You ain't got shit.
Girl, you poor.
You poor, girl. Food bank? Food bank low income?
Yes.
Food bank low income?
What else?
So I didn't really know if that was low income. Girl, until I got shipped. I got shipped on the bus down the street.
So you would be bused?
I would be bused to another neighborhood.
Of higher end?
Higher end.
Wow.
This is when I realized, boom, you poor.
But okay, I have a question. Did you think I'm poor, or did you think these white people have a different culture? Because it was mainly predominantly white.
So I went kindergarten through 8th grade to this school.
Kindergarten?
Kindergarten. My whole entire...
Girl, you were bused.
Yes.
Elementary school?
Your entire childhood to this school. I would walk outside my house, walk about 30 feet to the right, wait right there, and the bus would come pick us up. And all these people from my neighborhood were bused to this other school.
Why? You didn't have schools?
Girl, you know how many raza was living in my neighborhood? It was 5 of us. Many kids. They didn't have enough room. So we got that neighborhood of ours was bused there. And guess what? This is when I found out that at the bake sales, we're talking about bake sales earlier today, I would have 50 cents. With 25 cents, I would buy a square of, ¿cómo se llama esa cosa that we were eating earlier? Rice Krispie treats. And then the other one, a chocolate cupcake. And then I would look around to all the kids around me. Girl, they had bags of stuff. They had like 4 of each. Guess what? I want to say maybe 20% Latino, low income from my neighborhood. Maybe a lot of my trauma came from there also, because I had the same pair of clothes, like 5 outfits or 6 outfits or whatever. And my sister was 2 years younger than me, so maybe we would try to share clothes, but we were never the same size. We would go to Kmart in the summer. This was our thing. We would go to Kmart and my mom would lay away clothes. I mean, she has to clothe 3 kids at that time because, you know, my younger siblings were smaller, maybe not in school. And
she was still clothing them.
Yeah, I see that now. But I mean, thinking back, it was embarrassing.
Well, I was younger, so they were younger,
and it's like, oh, girl. The first time I went to a friend's party where they had gift bags, I never knew what a gift bag was.
There was no piñata.
There was no piñata. We would have piñatas, and then everybody would get a piece of the piñata that would break off, and that was your bag to get all your shit and put it in there.
And then after you ate the candy, you put it on your head.
Yes. That's what I knew. I didn't know what a gift bag was. I think I was like in 5th or 6th grade when we got invited to somebody's birthday at roller skating. I had to beg my dad, and my dad wouldn't let me go to anything.
Why?
Father, why? I want answers, Dad.
Trying to protect
Send me an answer in my dream. Imagine he sends me a
If he does, tell us in the next.
I will. But
maybe he was protecting you.
He was a very traditional, traditional Mexicano. We don't go and bother other people. Or was he protecting me because he didn't want to know?
Maybe he thought you would be bullied because you're poor.
I don't know if he had that because he was poor.
Yeah, he's an adult. He knows there's people out there who aren't poor.
I wish I knew. You know, I'm gonna ask my mom.
And they're having roller skating.
Girl, I think that's the first time and only time we had. I think the first time I got a bike, I was older. I have pictures. I was not a little girl.
Oh,
I was older.
Yeah, I wasn't
Mackenzie's age when I got my first bike.
Oh no, this girl has all kinds.
This girl has a house out here. What she got out here? She got a tractor out here. We're in the backyard right now. She has all kinds of stuff.
The question would be, when did my brother get his first stuff? Because I just got all their hand-me-downs, so I had everything.
Yeah, see, I was the second oldest, and I'm the first girl, so I was the first one to get anything. But how did I know that I came from a low income?
Okay, so your experience though was do you remember, or maybe you don't remember? Was it I'm poor and they're not, or is it I'm Mexican and they're white? Was it a culture shock, or was it like, oh, these people have money and I don't have money?
I think it was a little bit of both.
Oh.
I was a little bit of both because look, my mom would make our clothes.
Which is so funny because
now I'm like, I wish I could make my clothes,
the only people I know who make their clothes are white people.
Really?
Yes.
How interesting.
They have
Are you kidding
little
me?
outfits. Yes.
Are you kidding me?
No, I'm not kidding.
Oh my God, look at my eyes. Hold my hand. Tell me the truth. I only knew Mexicans were making clothes because they didn't have money for clothes. My mom would go down to the local store.
To like the district?
No, here locally. She would cut the patterns and she would make our clothes. And she would tell you why I don't like a lot of things in life is because it stems. And as I'm getting older and reflecting on life and going through the journey and everything.
It stems from this?
Listen, Halloween.
Yeah, you've told me this.
Have I told you this?
Yeah.
It makes me really sad.
Kids are mean.
Girl.
Kids can be very mean.
I was a very small population of the girl that had the costume, because when I tell people that I know from my neighborhood, they're like, oh, we all had that. I'm like, yeah, we all did.
Yeah, we
did. You didn't go to the school I went to. They had their moms had given them. I remember they would have like this, ¿cómo se llama the little girl from Dorothy?
Yeah,
is it Dorothy?
Yeah.
Beautiful, and then like the pirate and all this, and then then we had to do a parade, girl.
We the strawberry shortcake.
Did you have to do a parade?
Yes, we had to
go every classroom.
Oh, we did. I don't remember that, but we would go to the senior home across the street.
Oh no, girl, this is worse. First of all, we had to do a parade into every classroom. You go in one door and out the other. And everybody's walking.
Then
and
who's
this is
in the parade if there's kids watching you?
You would go from one class, and then the other class would get on the back of the line, and then I think it was like that. And this is me. Ready? Because I'm walking. Can anybody guess what that means?
Yeah.
If you're my age, you know what the hell that means. You have that plastic strawberry shortcake, hot ass damn costume. You have that one mask that has
little plastic with the string on your head.
And you stick your tongue through the little thing. You And I remember I hated it. I hated it so much because that would always remind me that I was in the same category as them. And I think I don't want to say hate for Halloween, which Halloween is around my birthday. So it's kind of like people love fall. I'm like, no, even though it's my birthday month, it reminds me of all those years. Because it's not like I went from this school, then I went to that school. And then all those years. All those years. The same pair of shoes from Payless, Pro-Wings. Now, girl, I will rock some damn Pro-Wings. Can we get somebody to send me some Pro-Wings? I'm a size 8.
Oh, my God.
Do they sell Where can I get Pro-Wings? You can probably get them
I think Payless is still around, isn't it?
No.
Payless BOGO style, girl.
No, girl. You can probably get Pro-Wings on eBay probably for $250.
Did your mom make you, try them on and then push on your toe and make you walk around the store?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
I should do that to myself. I'm Alex.
That's how I do
Alex,
it.
put them on. Walk around.
I just want to make sure we're all doing the same shit.
Food stamps? Is that low income? Yep. I would say so.
Yeah, I would think so.
And I remember standing in line when it started making me embarrassed because my mom would have to, now thinking back, why didn't she just tear it all out?
Because it's money. You don't want to lose it.
No, I know that now as an adult.
Oh, but you would think this.
I'm like, Mom, in my mind, when she's standing there tearing out the 20 and the 5 and the 1s and the people in the line are looking at you like, hurry up. But then again, she would shop in our neighborhood, so we weren't the only ones with it, obviously.
But every now and then you get someone behind you.
Absolutely. So,
did you ever get the actual cashier giving you a hard time?
Yes. They look at you like, hurry up.
Fuck.
Why didn't they have the little cards? Now
they do.
Damn, I want one of those little cards, girl.
I was raised that if someone in front of us was taking up the line using their food stamps, they were just using their coupons. And then if the cash register person would get, even if they just, gave a big sigh, my mom would tell them that they're wrong.
Oh, yeah?
Or someone would, someone would be in, the line, like, God, lady, hurry up. Oh, I'm going to go over here and make someone feel bad. My mom would say something to them.
She would?
Yeah. So I wasn't raised where it was okay to treat people that way. You helped people.
Right.
So again, my house, I know I wasn't the lowest. I had more than others because we were helping others. So I was aware of it.
Yeah. The food bank? We would do the food bank once a week. We'd go to the local church to get the food bank. That was always fun. Because even though everything was canned, we would get things that my mom wouldn't buy because they were expensive. Like a can of olives. Yeah. My love for olives stemmed from that. We would get a can of olives and it was like we got $1 million. Like we would get the peas, olives. Oh my God, we would love it. And now reflecting back, I wish you're a kid. You don't think that way. You just think of being embarrassed. And I wish that I could appreciate how my mom was doing anything to get food on the table.
Yeah, your mom.
Like, if you got to go to food bank, I'm going to food bank. If
I'm
I have to
so impressed with your mom.
You know, my dad, like I said, I believe I talked about it if I didn't already. My father stopped working when I was 14 years old. My dad did not let my mom work. He said, you're staying home, you're a housewife. And after he stopped working because of his drinking, my mom had to figure it out.
What did she do for work?
She started first babysitting, but when she got out in the field, she was a cook at a convalescent home down the street. I think she worked there for over 20 years. And she can walk there. It was right around the corner and a block away.
So your dad was the breadwinner, and your mom was taking care of you guys.
Yeah, and we were on welfare.
So between his checks, what did your dad do?
He was a welder.
Okay, so between his income and welfare checks,
yeah,
your mom was also food banks, stamps,
putting your clothes in layaway. Did you ever put your clothes in layaway every year for school?
Not that I remember.
Okay.
I remember the lines at Walmart.
Uh-huh.
The lines at the layaway station, because you have to go in person to pay.
Yes, you have to go in person.
So this line of everything.
I was in that line, girl. You waved at me while you're paying for your shit. Hey, girl. You in the line.
I remember the line. I think I was too young. I didn't really.
But yeah, no, you don't realize.
I didn't know what was happening.
You don't realize that.
But I don't think we ever did. I could be wrong. My mom might hear this and tell me yes. But no, I don't think. Looking back, I think if I had to figure it out without asking my parents, I think we were probably lower middle class.
Okay.
Because I don't remember layaway, but we still did pay less.
Yeah.
My mom would go to this, I think it was owned by Hostess. I could be totally wrong. But it was like the secondhand bread store.
Girl. Right? There was one block away. Is there one still here? 25 cents for the little pies.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Hostess.
I don't think it's around anymore.
Because ya iba a estar expired. That's why it was so cheap.
It's going to expire in like a week. So they would sell those.
I wish they would bring those back.
But if we had that in our house, it's not going to last a week anyway.
Girl, it ain't going to last an hour. What are you talking about?
By the time I was older and actually realizing things, I don't think the struggle was I'm sure my parents were struggling,
right.
But you never knew when your parents struggled.
You didn't really know.
You didn't know. And we had a lot of, I feel like I was constantly, not comparing, but learning. You know, you're observing and you're trying to see where you place.
Yeah.
I observed a lot of people who came from much less than I had.
Okay.
Would come to my house and eat at my house, and my mom would feed them. So clearly we weren't the ones starving. If my mom is feeding all these mouths.
Right.
So I always thought we were super well off.
Yeah?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Well, that's good.
I thought we were rich.
You're like, we're rich.
Yeah, it wasn't until I went to college and tried to go off on my own, and I was too young to qualify for this grant. They wanted my parents to submit saying that they're helping me.
Yeah.
Even though I was on my own. I did not. I lived in a whole different county.
Oh, wow.
And they still said, no, we need your parents' tax information.
Yeah.
So it wasn't until I went to college, I saw their tax information, and I was like, oh, we're not rich.
Right.
I was like, wow, we don't make six figures. In my head, that, not in my head, society would be like, oh, we're going to make six figures. You're doing great. We're two income. Both my parents work.
Okay. Full time? Both of them?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. My grandma raised us.
Okay.
A lot. So my parents were there after work and on weekends.
Okay. Were you guys homeowners growing up?
Yes.
Okay.
My dad grew up in that house. So his dad bought that house.
Okay.
And then when his dad passed, my grandma continued to live there. So they originally moved to, I believe, Boyle Heights when they came.
You know what's interesting now that we're having this conversation? I have my aunts and uncles who are from the same generation as my parents. I came from Mexico también and everything. They bought homes. And they also, at that time, before my dad stopped working, I'm going to ask my mom, I wonder why there was never a thought of, I want to buy a home. Or is it something they thought was impossible? Because obviously their tia that came, who doesn't speak English, bought this crappy ass house.
After I answered your question, I thought, I wonder if my dad's dad didn't buy that house.
Okay.
If we would have been homeowners.
Yeah.
Because my mom moved into my grandma's house. Right?
Right.
And then my parents live in this house. It's my dad's house. My parents' house.
Right.
That was, he was living in it when he was 15. He didn't buy that house.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
So now they own it.
Okay.
I'm not sure what the deal was, who bought what, who gave what, I don't know. But thinking about it now, could they be homeowners at that time if it wasn't a house that was already owned within the family.
Yeah. Nobody in my neighborhood, and none of my friends locally owned a home because where the community I live, nobody owned homes. But when I was going to the school I was going to, all those kids had homes.
So is that what you asked me? That's the line in your head? Homeowner? Not
yeah,
homeowner.
I think back then, because when I would see these homes, and they were, now, because I still drive that community, and they're nice homes, but they're not the homes when I was little that I would think like, oh my God, they were mansions, they were so beautiful. Well, we rented all our life, still renting. I don't find a problem with renting because I think there's other avenues of investing money as I get older.
Home ownership is so expensive. I think you need to own more than one.
Oh, yeah.
For it to be beneficial for you.
Yeah.
You need to have rental properties as well.
People would always tell me, like, why don't you guys buy a house? Why don't you guys buy a house?
Why?
Oh, invest. Now, as I'm getting older and having this relationship with you guys, is learning that you can invest your money in so many other ways.
Yeah.
And it's fun. And you don't have to worry about figuring out the plumbing and your roof is leaking and all that shit.
You don't have to climb under this house and get your own shit and the neighbor's shit all over you?
Yeah, you can just get a computer every day and invest that way. But I just thought about a story talking about really quick. Our neighbors, my mom didn't buy soda. That's another example. My mom never bought soda, because not even Shasta, because we didn't afford it. So we would get the Kool-Aid. We would go to Food for Less or Lucky's. It was Lucky's Market. And my mom would let us pick, and we would pick like 10 packets of.
Yeah, because for $1 you can get 10 packets, something like that. I
remember. I think it was like 10 cents back then.
Yeah, 15
I think so. Cents. And it was like, girl, my dad had a sweet tooth. When he would make the Kool-Aid, you could not drink it.
Oh my, so sweet.
Oh, at the bottom was all like syrupy.
Oh my God.
And the neighbors right next door, they would always have soda, because even though they were in the same neighborhood, the dad had a very good job and they had a little bit more money, obviously. They had a nice truck and, that. We would go over there and it was soda. And it was like, oh my gosh, soda. And then they would come over and be like, oh my God, Kool-Aid. And they would love coming over for the Kool-Aid.
I love it. As kids, you don't know.
You don't.
No, you just want what everyone else has.
Yeah.
It didn't matter.
No, it didn't. It's like, I don't want this Kool-Aid. Like, this is have you had Kool-Aid lately?
Lately, no. But growing up, we had
Kool-Aid. Let's have Kool-Aid next episode.
No, thank you.
Let's make a cocktail out of Kool-Aid.
Nope. I'm out.
Cactus Kool-Aid. Now, reflecting back, honey, I go to Didi's Discounts. I get me this. This is from Five Below. Honey.
Send nudes.
This is from Five Below.
You guys, it's a ramen bowl, and it says send nudes.
No, Mensa, I don't know. Are you reading it right?
Yeah. What did you think it said?
Doesn't it say send noodles?
No, it says send nudes.
What do you mean?
Like naked photos. You didn't know?
Oh my God. How come are you sure?
Yes, I have one of these.
Says send nudes?
Send nudes.
Noodles?
No.
Oh my Lord, have mercy.
James May had a shirt like this, so I bought one too. I think it's hilarious.
Gosh, I've had this for a year maybe.
Yeah, you've had this like 2 years.
Look, this is how you can tell I don't pay attention. It says send NOO, and I stopped reading there. There's a bowl with noodles and chopsticks.
NOODS. Nudes. Send nudes.
Oh, nudes like noodles.
Yes, but like nudes.
My gosh.
You genuinely didn't know this.
I swear.
Oh my God.
I thought it said send noodles.
That's why you've had this for like 2 years. I remember you
like you started it when
you were working here, and you were like,
your first check, that's what you bought. You're like,
I think it was.
Your first check, you went to Five Below and bought
you came in and you were like, oh, I got these new shirts. And I was
can
like,
you believe not one person has sent me a nude?
Too bad. You guys do not send us nudes.
Do not send us nudes, please.
Unless they're like packs of ramen, because I will eat them.
Yes. But
no, it's
I think
I can't.
That's so funny. But reflecting back, I mean, I will spend money on other things that make me happy that I could afford. I can afford a nice t-shirt. I can afford it now,
Yeah.
I'm not rich, but if I want to buy a $34 shirt, I can buy it. Yeah. Do I buy it? No.
Why not?
It still hurts mentally, and I just like, why? How could I don't
even if it's like, it's a better quality and it's not,
and it's gonna last longer, and it's not like this.
Trade, yes, it's pure cotton or whatever.
No, I can't get to do it. I can't get myself to do it. I get now as I'm getting older. Like I want to figure out how to turn $100 into $200.
Yeah, I feel like I always wanted that though.
I never wanted that. I didn't know that was possible.
You didn't know how to turn like $1 to $2. No. $2 $4.
Well, I did sell raspados when I was a little girl. Did you ever sell anything? And I sold candy.
Yeah, I sold candy.
We would go to Tijuana, bring all the candy.
Oh, and I would be buying from you.
I had all the Mexican candy.
With the money I made from buying the 1,000-pack sour belts and then selling them like 5 for $1 in a little baggie.
Oh, how would you get your customers?
The kid sitting next to me that wanted them.
Oh, you would take it to school?
Yeah, I would sell these bags at school.
Oh, shoot. No, we didn't do that. We would tell the neighborhood, and outside of our door, we put candy.
Oh, yeah.
Selling candy, and then the kids would come to our door, and then the raspado, until I had to go back to the market to buy more supplies, and my mom did not help me count my quarters and my dimes, and I was probably like sixth grade, and it was the Kool-Aid. My raspados were Kool-Aid flavors, and I went back to buy more stuff, and I had to count everything, and I just remember being so embarrassed, and I said never again, and I don't think I ever sold that's when I closed down my business.
Oh, wow.
My first business.
Girl,
I had it for a month
hustling.
though. I had it for a month though. You know what's cute? Me and my sister would use the tin where you make the cupcakes, and we would put the nickels in one, the dime, so it was like a cash register. Yeah.
How cute.
That was fun.
I had a baggie. All my change went in the baggie.
Oh, so you were going to school. You were like
I was selling at school,
a hustler, huh? I never did that.
But it didn't matter. I mean, even after I went off on my own and I was too poor to even buy a tampon, like you're just sweating it when your next check's coming compared to when your period's coming.
Yeah.
Even when I was in that state, I was still trying to help others.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Well, was it?
I don't know. That's for you to figure out, girl.
No, it was not. I was poor, spending money on people when I didn't even have money.
So now, but it's really interesting how these things kind of shape you, and it's important to reflect back to these thoughts and emotions and feelings that you had when you were going through certain things, because I think it's part of the healing is reflecting back and not just moving forward and trying to like figure it out. When you reflect back and tap in to the little you really discover a lot about yourself. Would you say that?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. It's important to reflect back to my old poor times and low income times. I'm still a little down there, but I'm trying to inch up, and knowing what made me feel uncomfortable maybe can give me the drive to just be better. At least this is what I hope and pray.
Yeah,
that would happen.
I think personally, I always look back and I think, how can I make my kids feel that they're secure at home? Like I felt I was very secure at home, safe at home. Yeah. I didn't ever feel like I was starving.
Okay, yeah.
Nothing like that. How do I make sure my kid feels this way? I would think, how do I raise my kid not to be a snobby kid? But how do I also do better? Because I feel like if my parents taught me the real world and what money is, which they didn't know.
Nobody talks about money.
Yeah, that too. But
not even in school, or your parents, nobody talks about money.
But they don't even know, so how are they going to teach me?
They don't know, right? They don't know.
But now I do know.
Yes.
So how do I teach my child so that they can be even better than I am?
Right.
How do I teach her, but not be the snobby kid at the school you went to?
Yeah, with all the designer stuff.
Fun of people and make everyone feel like shit. How do I raise the kid not standing behind the person using their WIC card? Yeah. Grunting. How do I do both? How do I balance that? How do I make sure my kid is still balanced? That's what's constantly going through my head is, I wish my parents taught me this. Okay, but my upbringing is what made me who I am today. Right. So how do I teach my child without fucking up her upbringing? It's just a constant question.
But at least you're aware. I
think that's the biggest thing.
That's the biggest thing is being aware that this is what you want to accomplish.
And constantly checking in with yourself, because you can get caught up.
You get caught up real easy and you're not present.
It's definitely more we can talk about on another time.
Always more we can talk about, girl. Always more. When we started this podcasting journey, I told you, I don't know, I think I'm going to run out of things to talk about. And
what does your husband say when you say that?
He said, he looked at me, he's like, you're talking in your sleep. What are you talking about? Why don't you guys like, follow, share with your comadre, your tío, your cousin, your friend. Just hit that subscribe button. See you next Tuesday.
See you next Tuesday.